Hey everybody, this is your local Paul coming at you with some crypto coffee update news, events, conferences, and all other things related to the large and ever-growing world of digital ledger technology, colloquially known as crypto. So, as you know, we got to kick this off right together as we usually do, but if it's your first time with us, we're doing our simultaneous sip where we take a sip of coffee, tea, or if you prefer water, together just to have a moment of reprise starting out the day right. So, join me now. Nice relaxing way to kick it off, right? Let's go ahead and check out the news of the day. And first thing we have coming out of the crypto world is Bitcoin Cash. Want to give them a congratulations on their successful stress test. They accounted for almost 65% of all crypto transactions just in the last 24 hours, and they finish off their stress test with a record-setting 21.3 megabyte block. So that is nice and exciting for them, so congratulations. Good to see applicable blockchain technology being utilized in the wider marketplace. And with the scaling debate alive and well on RBTC, a lot of conversation, some more informative and highbrow than others, but yeah, it's just good to see a decentralized, distributed conversation about how scaling should work. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some articles. Japanese customers say they cannot use the new cryptocurrency online's messaging app due to some legislative issues surrounding how the Japanese can interact with crypto. Apparently, Line's exchange, Bitbox, is not registered in Japan, as are only 10 other exchanges. This came after a devastating hack, CoinCheck, that saw hundreds of millions of dollars taken. Luckily, a lot of that was able to get back into the hands of the exchange, but nonetheless, it highlighted the, let's just say, lax security proceedings for some of these exchanges and a subsequent regulatory crackdown. Now, with Bitbox left in the cold, there's a lot of question as to how the 75 million Japanese customers that use Line are going to use the new Link token in the Line ecosystem. Furthermore, this calls into question if Bitbox has license in some of its other key markets, including Taiwan, Thailand, and Indonesia. Keep in mind, Thailand has similar legislative framework about whitelisting exchanges, and it seems Line is not one of the listed exchanges in Thailand either, and Line did not immediately return a request for comment. This also begs the question, what will the Link tokens be used for and how many are there? When I read this, it was kind of shocking considering that's a big question for a cryptocurrency. After all, if you're going to be issuing, even if it's not a cryptocurrency, a token, you want to have a use value behind it. And it immediately called to mind this flowchart you see here. Do you even need a blockchain? It seems, in a way, sometimes there's a bit of a dichotomy. You have one crowd that says, oh, you should use a blockchain for everything ever. It's fantastic. It's the next big thing. And then you have the other side of the equation, blockchain, geez, what's it good for? Absolutely nothing. And realistically, it's somewhere in the middle. Given this is new technology, it's still being tested and tried in various industries with various applications, and frankly, in some places it's being over-applied, and in other places under-applied. Realistically, only time will tell what fields and instances blockchain is the most applicable for, but perhaps it may not be the way to go for Line. But as said, only time will tell. Next article, crypto-related Twitter account being sold for millions of USD. Man, if only I was that popular on Twitter. They kicked me off. Got an offer to sell this account for 657 Bitcoin, and I just couldn't refuse, not in this bear market. This is coming from @crypto_bitlord. He's handing over the keys allegedly next week and will be announcing his fresh handle. Strangely still, he says he's the 5th account to sell, so this has a lot of users scratching their head. Who is buying up all of these accounts for so much capital and why? Or is this even the case at all? The article speculates that perhaps one of the worst things to come out of this could potentially be a large-scale scam. However, given that this information is so public already, and with the USD cost of these Twitter accounts, the chance to break even on such a venture is slim to none, so that very well may not be the case. Highlighting some of the confusion this has brought, Whale Panda, a popular account, made a joke poking fun saying that, oh well, I've actually created an alternative account as well. It's Craig Wright's account. Of course, this is just satire. However, some users didn't quite get the joke and were very worried that Whale Panda very well may be Professor Fautus or Craig Wright. This just helps to highlight some of the confusion and how doing your own research and checking behind these individuals when they make statements like this is so important. Speaking of doing your own research, that's something that perhaps John McAfee isn't really known for, considering his quote unhackable unquote BitFi wallet has been hacked for a second time, this time using another root access cold boot attack. Let's explore. This cold boot attack was made possible due to BitFi relying on a two-way security system. Of course, you have the user-generated secret phrase as well as what's called a salt value. This root access allows the individual who's trying to hack the device to discern these private keys and the salt value even when the wallet is switched off. Here you can see the actual tweet in which this individual announced that they were able to hack the BitFi wallet yet again, and here's a subsequent string of tweets by the same user explaining exactly what's going on and how the BitFi wallet is different from things like Trezor and Ledger. In what's called an evil maid attack, software is simply put onto the device while it's off, and when the device is booted up again, it has its private keys taken from it. In Trezor, this is much more difficult to do, thanks to ultrasonic welding acting as a seal, and in Ledger, it's a little more easy. However, identifying features and whatnot make it very difficult to do nonetheless. There's no such thing like that in BitFi, literally no protection at all. So with a lot of these so-called security experts not exactly knowing what to look at to that degree, well, it's led to instances like this in which John McAfee makes the claim that something is unhackable, and lo and behold, it's relatively easy to do. And not to mention, it does make it a bit more tantalizing to hack when you put a claim like unhackable on a product. Next up, Bitcoin shorts have jumped by $87 million in just a short while. Here's what that chart looked like, so you can see either an institution or a wealthy individual is definitely increasing the amount of bets against Bitcoin. Presumably they're expecting some kind of small market correction in the short or medium term. Let's explore. Bitcoin shorts spiked today within hours, about 12,000 Bitcoin, which is a lot of money, 87 million specifically, have been placed saying that we believe Bitcoin is going to fall in price. While the jump in shorts has not had any significant corresponding movement in longs, the price remains somewhat unaffected, still hovering around between $71 and $7,200. So it's yet to be seen if the price is going to explode upward and all these shorts are going to be invalidated, or if it's going to go downward and these shorts are going to have a happy payday. As said, this very well could be Wall Street getting back into its old shenanigans, being how relatively easy it is for them to move the market with their institutional weight. However, some traders think there will be a short-term correction, so it just as easily could be a group of individuals following that psychological resistance line. With that said, that's all we have for the news. Let's go ahead and segue into our next segment, which is just the conferences occurring all around the world. And we have just a handful of them happening on September 3rd, Monday. We have the World Blockchain Summit 2018 kicking off in Malaysia, and the similarly named World Blockchain Forum happening in London. So similar names, opposite sides of the world, they share one thing in common: blockchain. And of course we have the Neo Meetup happening in scenic Uruguay, nestled right in between Argentina and Brazil in the Rio de la Plata. Really nice looking place. That's all we have for September 3rd, Monday, and there wasn't too much going on September 4th, Tuesday, so kind of a quiet middle of the week rest there you can take. There are some things happening down below in the description with the B-list coins. They're fine projects, there's just far too many to talk about with respect to time, and after all, this is kind of a way to spur you to do a little bit of your own research. I got all the nice sources laid out for you. All you have to do is check behind me, and you'll see how easy doing your own research can be. You're just following the nice road of links that's been laid out and seeing what the information says. Can it be corroborated? Is it valid? Only time will tell, and only you can tell, because no one's going to do that hard work for you, and that's what this space is all about, working hard together to make the crypto world the best it could possibly be, maximizing human freedom, human wealth, and human innovation. But with that said, I'm going to be innovating on out of here for the time being. Thanks so much for watching. Your support really does mean the world. Don't forget that our contest on Viewly, you have one more day to enter for your chance to win some tokens. So check out the links below in the description that I'll share to get some information on how to get entered to win there. But with that said, thanks again. My name is Paul, signing off. We are Cryptide, and remember, the tide is rising. All natural too, no water pumps here.